Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are. Welcome back. This is the detanglement of this kind of the video. We have the breaking news that are always coming in now and again, now and again, now and again. We have the breaking news of we have Minnie how she's going to be delivering with an immediate effect, and the terms and conditions are no longer needed to her. And she has talked about she's going to be benefiting on herself. And much of the GoFundMe that the Mwango they're just ongoing with the GoFundMe of on their own maternity rate, they could just be directing it to Minnie Howe because she is much in need about it, and she's going to be having the delivery with an immediate effect. The breaking news is out for that one. And also we have this kind of the people have been thrown out into an imbroglio because they think about everything going to be coming to an empty, and this kind of the silver platter. So things have already changed because there's no one is recommendable at the villa right now. Everyone is put out of the villa to make sure that they're ongoing with their own shenanigans here and there. So this is the effect that is coming out from the villa, and the breaking news that are always available. Another breaking news is Anastasia. Where is Anastasia by now? Because everybody was thrown out of the villa. Things are now changing and things are becoming so hectic. Anastasia, she is thrown out of the villa. Oh my living God. Things are now changing, and we have ever talked about this kind of the girl, and we are ever being speaking and speaking and speaking. But the effect whenever I talk about I'm going to be going to the school and change the manipulation that is always going to the reputation of this and this, and they're talking about, oh, whenever you are in Kenge compound, you are safe. Nobody is safe. Save my foot. Right now, only person who was left is only a person who is the uncle to the demon, and he is the only person who was left and to the villa to control the gate and make sure that the other thefts and things are controlled with a mannery way. And the effect right now is one: there's nothing is going to be handled into that kind of the position because things are changing with an effect. And all the YouTubers who thought about they're going to be going back to the villa, sorry for you, things have changed. And she has talked about the Mwango has talked about she doesn't want to see something like a Paris. Paris, you are no longer needed, even alongside that road. Whenever you will be just seen there, you will be dismantled with an immediate effect because there is a grudge between the demon and also the Paris who is making sure that is taking care and the position, waiting for the Argentina long nose to be dropped as she's going to be taking over the game of the Kenge fraternity. And also, she has talked about she doesn't want lunatic people like DJ Perez, the sausage girl. Because of what? Things are changing, and she is having a bigger curations of the time as she's talking about things are now changing. She's taking over the game of the responsibility of the villa, and things are going to be changing. And also we are going to be talking about whenever I was walking to Nyabuanse, I met much of the Ankomo, and the Ankomo was looking at me. No, he never knew that I was so punctual and waiting for that moment. And the effect is I told people once that there's no effect can ever come to affect me when I know that I know myself. And it was Lady J. They were just Agunmo was taking much of the timbers to Lady J's position of the construction, and they were behind with the BMW, and the demon was in, Lady J was in, and whenever they reached at the position I was just having my phone. I was calling somebody, and I was having a phone call there talking to somebody, and they just stopped and lowered their own windows, and they were just chewing themselves. I don't know how they're doing it. And I talked about if you need much of the time, can you come down so as you can just talk to Gintu? Because Gintu is another effect. Whenever you're talking about you're going to be going to the police, I'm not interested in that one. And whenever she thought about you're going to be now coming down again and turn 360 to Gintu, I'm not longer in that kind of a sphere. Because right now I can take care of her, and I can take care of her and the baby always. And making sure that even right now I have a house here. And things are so fantastic. So whenever she's gonna be compromising the issues, I'm gonna be taking her to the G Castle, and she's gonna be delivering here, because things always change, and we have to change with how the change gonna be changing us. And the effect comes out once that whenever the effect comes, we have to go with the effect how it comes. That is the real fact, and the scenario. We are no longer being thrown to this kind of the scenario. So the breaking news are gonna be coming to you live, which is democratizing with this kind of the effect, and things are changing very meticulous. And the effect, whenever they come, this is the time that I always talk to much of the YouTubers and gauge them to much of the history, that things change and the history evolve. You thought about Kenge gonna be coming back to the villa to take over the game. Right now, she is a lady who is taking over the game, and she doesn't want any kind of a YouTuber to talk about anything. Gitriva is fired. Gake was fired immensely. Talk about Anastasia is no longer available, and we are so sympathizing with this kind of the lady, because she will be just cornered, and I don't think whatever is just going on, guys, she is in a problem. That is the fact. And whenever I'll get that chance to film that kind of a video, it will come one-on-one, and I'm going to be showing you which kind of the position that have been thrown and what is really happening to this kind of the regime of now and again, because we have everybody is just throwing this kind of a lady here and there. The father was the one who was hitting like a Cherokee drum. Right now, the demon has thrown her out of the position with an immediate effect. So Lady J doesn't want to see any kind of such kind of a person reiteratively and going corner there. So things are getting an effect. Gake was the one who was handling her with the immediate effect and antagonizing her with an immediate effect. Right now, talk about Gake was thrown out, and things are now helter-skelter. So the Babylon Kill Selassie style is coming, and I'm going to be giving you the much of the impact which is falling to this kind of the family, and to tell you what is really meant and how is it meant, on what is really coming to an abscond of the time. So keep tuned, keep it locked. This is the moment. If you're first time you're checking this kind of the video, get into there and subscribe, like, share, comment, so as you can just groove together as a team. This is a representative and a representation of the time as we go on with it. And respect to you, everyone, whoever is just in and commenting too much of this kind of the affidavit to go on with the session. Here we go. The G Castle is booming, and also the fish ponds here are booming. The water is no longer draining here. We have a problem of drought still, and things are now drying out. And as long as the plants are drying out, we have even at the villa, it's drying out of the people, because of the effect has come to affect everyone, and things are changing. This is the valid point, and this is entanglement to start this kind of the video. And if the first time you going in, thank you very much for commenting and also coming out with a Farid report. This is the commencement. And to Minihawi, kudos, and we are waiting for a baby shower very soon, and things are changing. Thank you very much for Radon, and you are now becoming a woman. That is the best moment, and keep it tuned, keep it locked, as CJ is taking care of you very meticulously, and there's nothing will ever hinder your most mokwas or mesmikwas or interrogation power of delivering very fantastic. And this is a kudos from Gintu to talk about happy Mother's Day to everyone. And also we are now getting how to this kind of the platform. Kinto is with you every time. Keep it locked, keep it tuned to everyone who is watching and keeping in locked. This is just the beginning of the session on 9th March 2025, as we go on and talk about this is the effect of the time. As we go on, we make it happen. Keep it tuned, keep it locked. This is the beginning, still the beginning. Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are. Welcome back. It's underscore back again to the root of today. Here we come. It's one-on-one live coverage that's going to be coming out of the banana plantation, which is date 9 March 2025. As we commence, the day is on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day, and everything is so fantastic wherever you are, and everyone who's being tuned. I just recommend that keep it tuned, keep it locked, and so as you can just groove together as a team. Thank you very much for all voices coming in. and keeping locked, because we have much of the alliteration of the video that's going to be coming to you and always coming, so as you can just be enjoying and making it happen. As we start and rechannel this kind of the channel forward, I really appreciate for everyone who has been there and making sure that we're going to be watching and commenting live, which is the positive vibes always antagonizing this kind of the channel. And this is the beginning. Guys, we have already seen much of the impact that has already shifted onto the village, because once I proper penetrated this kind of the information coming out to this kind of the lunatic psychobags people, and I talked about we have to alliteratively think about it, because I said that once upon a time you think about you will be the one who will be always being, oh, you are the only person, you are the only person. Whenever it reaches to the ground, look, right now Githiriba is no more, and the real fact is you are just the driver to your own boss, but not the recent boss who is now taking over the game and to the villa. And how the things gonna be going, it's something that it's now chaotic and flabbergasting to this kind of the group, because all the time and everything is now not moving as long as how it was being surprised to be. And the fact is right now, no more Mayugno, no more Nasto, no more everyone who was ever thinking about gonna be going to the villa, no more recommended there. And right now, I told people the shift gonna be coming, and it's gonna be a very bulky shift, and whenever it will be taking over the responsibility, they never thought about it gonna be coming. And I saw it the first time, whenever I told people that whenever it reach a time, everybody who thinks that this is the place for you to just enjoy and wait for Amaro to come, you'll just find the terms and conditions are no longer available there. That is what has brought a shift. And also all the people right now, they are becoming now reactors. I saw even Maja KE started reacting about who is Ginto and who is Kokomama. So the effect now has come and turned to them that they have to think properly and do their own things, apart from realizing that Kenge is there just to put them in the focus and just to follow all the legacy has to be followed. If you never had any synthesis of the one affidavit, you are never going to look for it again, because the time is now propelling, the time is accelerating than even the atmosphere of conjugulation. This is the fact, and this is what has now trended on. And when right now you see how the impact has shifted, no one is ever thinking about now Amaro again. Why are they not thinking about Amaro again? It's because I told them once upon a time, when things will change, even the people you thought about they will be ever there for you, they'll never be there for you. Right now, the only person who is allowed there is Gunmo. And Gunmo is today is looking fantastic, because since the demon came to the village, Gunmo now is looking very awesome, very fantastic, because right now he's even wearing a good shirt, can even button the shirt. Last time he was ever wearing the clothes which are looking like a mongoloid solution in this kind of the streets here. And right now is now looking so fantastic. So the game that is always here is one. Whenever Kenge will ever appear again to the villa, it will now look very sarcasm. What am I meaning in terms of the sarcasm? It will be like now the demon will again shift his own contemporary home nature, where she is now acting literally in terms of the maternity rate she is, because the only thing that is driving her right now is the maternity rate, because she's not having anything to speak out. The only thing is to act irregularly, to act visibly, to act stupidly, to act in a manner that people just want to fear her, because right now things are changing. It's the effect that came like the same when the Argentinian longnose was here. And when she captured a stomach, the stomach was inserted in a wheelbarrow style nature, and things were now running like a safari rally of the ejaculation. So now, whenever she became the pregnant girl, now things ever changed and turned visibly. Why am I saying turned? People started being fired. People started being hated. People started being given conditions which are not favorable for them. Unconditional circumstances. And that is the fact. Because right now, the effect and the shift that has occurred unto the village is now being shaken with a lady who is in a maternity rate. So everybody who was ever depending on that, I want to be waiting for Kenge to arrive as I'm going to be going to that kind of villa. I told people I'm a rectifier. I'm going to be rectifying the mistakes that are done small. I warned these boys that one day, one time, people will not be there to talk about you. One day, people, whoever supported you, will ever not even recommend, and you'll get other people from there. And that is the effect that is now following the channel. Because if we see very keenly, whenever this kind of the people are coming and talking about, I'm waiting for Kenge to come, we're going to be going on with this and this, I told them prepare right now. Because whenever the shift will be coming and the effect, whoever will not be around, you will have to make your own content without improvising their own affidavit. That is the fact. They never heard about me. They thought about the only shift they have to do is to compare their own self, talking about, I want to be like him, and you will never be. Your genes, your everything, your pathogenics, and talk about hypothalamus, your own oblongata, talk about your own thrombothrombin, thrombokinase. They never even have the regenome there. So if you want to come out clean, just have your own affidavit segment to talk about, let me now depend on myself how to do it. Right now you are now out. And you know how the story always comes out. Right now, Mayuguno has a lady. Mayuguno right now is conjugating a lady who is a Muzungu. Is never having such kind of the miscellaneous. Right now, whoever can, no one wants to pump some little guy like the demon there. Talking about if he wants something fresh, it's not like the demon. Right now, the stomach is there. So there's no enjoyment is there. It's only to give him enjoyment. What about you yourself who gonna be enjoymenting him? And it will be so hectic. So right now, everyone is now running a corner. So the fact is one, the effect is now coming, and they will know that the effect, whenever it comes, things change. Now it's their learning position right now. Whoever thought about I will be having, if somebody is complaining and talking about, I am Kenge fraternity, I like whatever Kenge is doing, I'm his fan, I like their home. Right now, go and shoot a video with the demon. If you are a lady, if you are a woman, go and shoot a video if you'll be given a shout out. Don't come outside and tell people that, I'm just sympathizing with much of the people talking about, I will never shoot a video with Gintu, I'll never shoot a video with this kind of the person, Kenge will see my video and will act perpendicularly per unit time for me. And right now, are you now shooting a video with them? Don't be stupid in mind. Sometimes think critically with an third eye. Because whenever the shift will come, the shift will going to be shifting with you. And you can never find this kind of the people they are talking about. Whenever I'm elevating, I was talking about Maja KE. Now he has come out to talk about, you know what? Maja KE is now reacting to Gintu in a manner that he doesn't know whatever he was doing. He's just like Arsenal. He is only formulating players and selling good players. That's the only problem with the Maja. Formulating good girlfriends and selling girlfriends to other people. That's the only fact about him. And he doesn't have anything to tell about to talk about anyone outside here. Because the only fact about him is he's just an active guy. Right now, just to go on with their own life, man. Because things gonna be different outside here. Right now, the demon is now taking over the game. You could ever talking about, now the demon is the one taking over the game. You could be now appearing talk about, how am I going to do this kind of the affidavit, the complimentions, and how am I going to talk to Lady J so that I can be given this and that, this. Look at all the people who they ever worked with Lady J. Where are they whenever the demon she's there? Have you seen the Bradagi? Have you seen him there? Have you seen this boy called Ngurai? Ngurai is Helopengo. Have you seen Helopengo there? They will never be accommodatable. And this is the thing that I always say. if one person will come to bring a shift that no one will be ever recommended to have this kind of a place here, you are just losing it. You are just stupid. You are never thinking properly. That I should wait for this kind of the person to come so as I can just act perpendicularly. You are just losing the momentum. And when I say about it, I'm always 100% sure that no one is even accepting, even getting that kind of affidavit point or a satisfaction point of going to the Kenge right now, even whenever the lemon is available. So this is already the shift. Look at Nasto right now. He can never attempt because he has found things are not well done there, because he can never be accepted even with a single cent. Even if he has as much a surprise as he ever can just even carry, he will never be accepted. And that's why I always say about that family, it's on its own way. They will never help anyone. It's only Kenge who came to help, but in a help of an exchange rate. It was like, have you ever gone to this kind of the market? Barter trade. It's either you have something with something. It's your brain and his shut out. That's the fact it was there. And he was dealing with the people who could work voluntarily and for free for him to save the money and talk about, oh, you know, this kind of the people, they're coming, they're willing. The fact is you are forced to do it. Look at it right now here. Who is now going to access that family? No one. And when I come out to talk about, even there's a time I went to cook to the Conmams area, and I was invited to make sure that I'm going to do very meticulous and fantastic cooking there. I was having much of a miscellaneous effect. What am I talking about, the miscellaneous effect? I got that even no one was even getting, talk about, Amar was ever inviting people when the party is already commencing. And no one was ever willing to talk about, I want to come to that party, because of what? They could not make it to come there because they know the habit that is there. Imagine the conmam, I told her that I'm cooking for you. Can you come? Because you called me and told me that, Tata, you just come and cook and things will be so fantastic, and we continue cooking and things will be coming odd in an ordinary way. But whenever I try and talked about let me start cooking, and I brought all the stuffs of now starting the marination, now I told her that, hey, mom, can you come so as we can just have a video? Eh, Tata, no, I cannot come there. You know, whenever the Mwango will ever see me, she's always complaining about I should not be invited in people's channel. Look at how selfish they are. And I'm there working for them for free. And some people are talking about, you know what? This is the impact of this kind of the family. That's the fact. They can never, they think about the beyond their level. And the people will never stand to me. They'll never even get the point to drive. They will be just talking about their own shits here and there. But the real fact remains the fact. Look at right now. Where is Paris? Where is Paris? She can never even attempt. She was ever going there. And she was ever going to talk about, you know, hey, Argentinian long nose, I have to take her to saloon so as they can just get the hair remanded and such kind of the pogroms of the day. But right now, has she ever gone to the villa? Why couldn't Marwa send Paris to go to the villa and take over the game? Stupidity of the highest order. Why couldn't Marwa send somebody whenever the fish were dying, talk about Nasto, look for me somebody, or can you do this kind of the whole job? Why couldn't he call anybody and talk about I want you to act perpendicular in this kind of the compound? Stupidity of the highest order. People don't get it. Why couldn't people gather themselves and talk about, hey, we are going to clean Amaro compound, he must be back? And why is only the demon, which is the Mwango, is the only person who is going to the villa and they can even shoot a video inside the villa and do anything there? Stupidity, people are not listening here in Nyabohansi. They think about their own religions here. And this is the only effect that I'm coming out with. And will tell the people direct. They're not thinking properly. And let me pump this kind of the knowledge to their empty heads. Because they cannot get it if they're not being told. Because if we see clearly how the picture is coming, Even they shoot alive inside the villa. And he came, and the people who ever worked there, the demon never worked in the villa. The DJ never worked in the villa. Gunmo started in the villa, but he was fired from the villa. Always blood is there. And whenever the people are just insinuating themselves outside there, talking about, oh, I'm waiting for Amaro to come and we will shoot videos, stupidity of the highest order. They'll just find that moment and they'll just lose it. Because they have to see the clear affidavit from now that they are no longer accepted, they are no longer given that priority as the home ever made a given priority. Let me give you this kind of a story. When Nasto had a problem and was about to be attacked with Lady J, with Gunmo, with Ian and Dimwango themselves, they were about to attack this boy. But what came out clearly? Whenever people started talking about her, and even this kind of a lady who is now in a high mortality rate, and she's about to deliver, and I think she has delivered, because they're going to be the breaking news to her. And things are getting worse and worse. She's called Minihawi. Minihawi brought this kind of the chapter out and talked about this kind of the problem, how it's now becoming. It's something that they ever wanted to attack, and he removed that kind of the story. And Nasto never wanted it to come out. He think about he has to go and talk about, you know, people, I really love you, I like you, I want this and that and this, which is no longer going to have a shift that way. No longer going to have a shift. And he was ever not thinking about, he was being prepared to get out from there. Right now, I told him one day, Nasto could be having his own village. Nasto could be having his own village. And that's the fact. Called about the Nasto village. Because when we go even to the history and talk about the history, how the history is a historian outside here, it has its own history. Let me say this. A person who invented electricity was Faraday. And Faraday, whenever invested, even invented this kind of talk about came out with this kind of the process of doing and making sure that we are coming out with electricity invention. He came to talk about even there are some of the units and gauges called Faraday, F in electricity. He used himself to make sure that he can be one of the units of that electricity, so as people ever recommend and recommend him. Talk about the person who invented the steam engine. He was called Thomas Sarvari. And whenever he came out, he had another person called Thomas Newcomen and James Watt. You can just remember them. We have in the steam of the engines, whatever, it's just used there. Huh? We have something called Thomas Watt. We have Watts in that of the family. You can just think about it. So people don't understand the legacy, it's there. Some processes are named from the people's names. If this kind of the process can be named from people's names and can be attached and properly be used, why can't a person in the village also make sure that no longer we are going to kneel down and talk about king is always the best? We have another region people who will be coming out very simultaneously and making it in their lives, and have your name in the history of the process of making sure that people talk about, oh, Nasto made it, Kinto made it this way. And they think about, I'm coming here, Nasto is a jabba. But one day they'll just know that whatever it was, Nasto lacked it, and are going to be going to take over the game. And when I said about Nasto could be in a position where no one could ever come to insinuate and insult him like a kid, and Nasto could not be in such kind of a position talking about I have to do this and this and this and this in regard of Kenge. That is the losing point he ever did. So when we come out to tell people how this kind of the things has to be there, they think about, no, you are less in YouTube. You came and found us in the street. Yes, I found you, but I learned more. And I saw more than whatever you saw whenever you were just there. Because I sat with a Maro family for like 8 months. In 8 months, even 2 months, even not 2 months, Even a week is more enough for somebody to interrogate and know the history of that family. What about an 8-month guy like me? And you know, Nasto, they were just coming and going, coming and going, coming. They never knew much of the history about that kind of the family. And when I come out clean to tell people, this family depends on themselves. If you think about you are a legacy outside here, you are thinking about your legacy outside here, you are no longer needed. Nasto was told or live, if you wish to go and leave my own affidavit, leave. I will ever protect the family first. Nasto never listened. Maja never listened to that kind of the state. They were thinking about whenever Kenge comes, he can just invite them, come and shoot videos only and leave. Yes, you will ever be depending on it. You will ever be depending on it. That whenever he comes, he will call us. Right now, another gene is unto the villa. So right now, are you waiting to be called? No one will ever be called, and no one will ever attempt to go to the villa. No one. And for you to learn, this is a lesson that are being driven and being given to themselves. They'll have to get it. If they don't get it, they're going to be knowing that things are changing outside here. And they'll be looking, they will be putting their ears this way, and they will be looking like the puppets outside here. They never listened to it. There's another guy here. There's another guy called Mawera. You'll never have an access there. It's just being used like a watchdog, like a slavery. And whenever it reach a time, he will never be called. If you are a legend, you ever entrust and people ever knew you, that you are in that kind of the family, whoever is in talking about whoever is invited to the villa, who? Apart from Gunmo only, because of the family. Only that family is responsible for their own affidavit. And even all the things that people were ever surprising, talking about, oh guys, you know, are going to be supplying much of the people, the children clothes there, so they can just take them over to the people and just disperse them. Did you ever see any kind of a thing like that? You ever surprised the corn dad, talk about the machete man and the corn mom, the sister to the demon? The demon herself, she's now wearing the clothes of maternity that were available in Mr. Cecil Bogo's surprise, which came there as a shipment. Because even that shirt, the red shirt that the demon was ever wearing there, I don't know if it's the red. I don't know how they call them. I'm not good in terms of colorizing, because I'm color crashing here. So the effect comes once this way. All the things that you think about that family will ever share to other people, you are losing it. It's something different. It's something not normal. It's something that you can never give a person 100% a cracker to space and talk about this kind of the family going to be upholding their own affidavit of the selection. They always select and talk about all the selection we are making, our family first. Look at right now. All the people who are ever talking about the caster, I have seen the donations are going. Thank you very much for everyone who's donating. And we have, I think it's 4%, and looking for more than 60,000 US dollars. Exactly. So right now they are 4%, which is 2,500 and something. They have reached in terms of donation. So the effect and the effect comes out this way. Let us not have that kind of the cracker to time of now recommending people to just give. Guys, we are back. And things are not working good, and we have to go to get forward, and we have to make it happen. Because if we always come to this kind of the affidavit of the people coming to show that they are maybe the ones who might be overtaking the game, and even if somebody can come out and talk about hey, I want you to not have this kind of the alliteration we're coming out with to show this kind of the stupidity maybe, and much of the people think about, oh, you know, this fame will just last for long, oh, this kind of the money that you might be having will ever last for long, and people don't understand themselves thought that once upon a time there are people who ever became that way, and they should just act perpendicular to other people. They think about, oh, whenever I'm just a female, whenever I'm a lady, whenever it occurs to be that I'm just having money than our family, they think about they're going to be upholding much of the things. And this is becoming so hectic in Nyabohanse, whereby right now, much of the male people are now absconded. They are now left behind the scene, and they cannot even come out evidently to talk about, I want to be who I am, I want to do my own things, I want to do this and this. And this is the effect that we have to do, and we have to occur with them simultaneous. If this kind of the people, they never want a rectification, because everything has a rectification. Even right now in Kenya, we have, today we had a demonstration in Nairobi, talk about in Roysambu. Much of the people, they talked about the president ever went to much of talk about a church and donated 20 million Kenya shillings, and 20 million is approximately 20,000 US dollars, and is living in the same area, is living people who are just talk about the students, talk about pupils in different schools, which are the permanent schools, like the public schools. They are just sitting down doing this and this. They're complaining about, why couldn't you take them to the schools, even to have a bench, even a desk for the people to sit. And it's the effect that this kind of the people are doing it, the demonstration to the church, and talking about this kind of the money will come back. So it's an effect that people are no longer, even the government is being rectified. We have the oppositions. So right now, whatever we're talking about is this family, they have the oppositions that want to rectify that this kind of the things that you are doing, they are not matching to the code of the days, and you have to act perpendicularly, not that act the way you are just behind. Whenever people are used to talk about, hey, this was even Marwa walking with this and talking to this one, and it became this kind of an effect. Look at what now, it's now becoming a scenario. All the people who are being promised, like Gake was ever promised, now come out here. He was just chased to come outside here and doing some narcotic things. And right now, what's now, what's now going on? There's nothing. He was promised empty promises with each on the only people who are just promising empty promises like Kenge. And right now, they're now suffering outside here. And the effect now comes out clean. Let us not be engaging in such kind of the alliterative things that they cannot even give us a good information outside here. So the effect that comes out as a platform is one that if we don't rectify them, they will even put to our own mouths. They will tell us to eat their own food. If we are not strong, if we cannot evidently come out strong and defend ourselves and talk about we are no longer needed such kind of the things to happen, and even our people are just behind the scene, they'll be looked into this kind of the keen point, and things will just move on and on. Let us not have this kind of the affidavit of every time talking about, oh, this kind of the people, this way. It will be becoming so narcotic and heterozygous. That's the real fact. And for the people right now to wake up, this is a wake-up call to much of the YouTubers in Nyamboase. If they'll never wake up call, if they'll never wake up, it's going to be eating to their own minds, thinking about, oh, now we are waiting. Right now, they're going to be a party at the villa, because I've seen much of the people have already tangled with much of the thing. I saw Gunmo having some shoppings, 2-3 shoppings, and went to the villa. And they're going to be having there a small party of themselves only, and the people they need. And the real fact is whenever the demon arrived into the village, if you think about you are a friend of that family and never visited you, because she visited the mother, she came to talk about the mother, the father, Lady J, talk about the sister, and they're talking about Maura, their own assets. Wherever they know that this kind of the things want to be beneficial to themselves, which is a better and a good plan of them. And the people think about, oh, whenever they're going to be thinking about us, thinking about who? Whoever think about you're going to be going back there, you are just losing the momentum. Start your own platform. Do it. And this is a call to even Nastor. Nastor was ever crying for you. And I saw even, there's another time, I saw Chef Matiko talking about some narcotic things that you are ever doing. I was just thinking about, oh, this how things are going to be changing. I saw even Chef Matiko has come out from it. And he's talking about this kind of the people, bullshit, stupid goons, because it cannot go hand in hand with the people who think about the world belongs to them. Chef Matiko came out evidently, talk about Nasto himself. All the things that they were just doing and all the things he was ever promising and was ever talking bad about him. So the fact comes out clean as all the people will ever come to break. And the people who will come out, we are now going to have the unity team, which is uniting outside here than even the people think about they are in. So this is a call to them. If they will not have that kind of an effect change, whenever the change going to be changing them, like right now, they have been fired. Everybody is fired from the compound. Now, where is this kind of the position of Anastasia? Things are bad. Where is Anastasia? Things are bad. Where are the people who are employed to talk about are going to be taking care of this, taking care of this? Where are they? Where is Gitriba right now? When opportunity came at once, they thought about we are with, we're going to be with, we have to be with. Who is who? Who is who right now? So they are now becoming repetitive themselves. They're now gauging themselves and they're gauging their words. They know how to talk and lure simultaneous. Right now, I've seen much of the people right now, they want to depend on themselves. Do your own things at your comfort zone. Because there is no more a Maro name. They have to try to know it. And whenever I walk from my home here to Nyabwanse, I meet some people talk about, yeah, we can share street food. But they cannot talk about again to, you know, they're only talking about, hey, we have seen whatever is coming out. Yeah, the G Castle is coming out. And right now, there's nothing can ever happen to even the Mwango can talk about, you're going to be coming to attack again to. I'm now in another level. I'm now in another class. But I can never show her that I'm in another class, that I cannot go hand in hand or bear with the people who are just surrounding me and act to them rudely and think about, sometimes remember that the people you are not engaging with at the backyard, that the people will ever bury you once upon a time coming. That the people who will be given liquor to dig your burial area. And you're thinking about now you are above sea level. Never ever been such kind of a manner. So it's a rectification to other people also. Whenever you get a problem, there is no day a Kenge family will ever engage and talk about we want to help. Look at what is dealing with the caster there. They're now coming out with GoFundMe to fund a maternity of the Mwango. To fund Lady J to start his own program of making and putting some stills into his own house. People are not thinking about it. People have already, you know, guys, what I want to tell you is this kind of the people frame whatever they want to do. At what rate, at what affidavit, and at what advantage, and the impact of that kind of the shootout they're going to be coming out. So the effect I'm talking about is one. When they come one-on-one to tell you this is the effect that we're going to be bringing the effect to the regional, it means that they have already discussed, they have already seen, this is the impact we want to show. Whenever people donate, half will be here, half will go there. And a person who is talking about going to be sending money to the super tanks, that is gone for good. Super tanks comes at the end of the salary point. So it means that whoever sent money to Lady J talking about it will go to Caster, at the end of the month, you have lacked it. It has gone for all. So this is the affidavit position. And people should gauge and get this kind of a point correctly as I'm taking and I'm telling them. Look at when people start talking about this kind of the people should change. And whenever the change is going to be people talking about this is the change we need, they're going to be talking about are going to be coming for you. And we have been intimidated, insulted, alligated, and even they don't want even to see me. It's something which is hectic and flabbergastic. How can a person meet this kind of the regional people and still think about that the people who want to engage in everything? They want to control everything. So hectic. So hectic. We have to channel ourselves and we build ourselves. Let's make it happen. And if we make it happen, God bless you. God bless everyone who is in touch and watching the video from wherever you are. God promptly. You are respected, and kudos for watching and coming to the end of this. Whatever you're going to be making, things going to be coming out, and respect to you. And every time whenever you are doing this and this and this and supporting Positive Vibe always, and we're going to be having this kind of the moment going forward. And the respect to you, kudos every time. Yes, Robbie Chacha. Ndio hii nilikuanga kwa video. Hata sasa niko kwa video, hata nikiongea hata na record. Labda utaiochi baadaye, utajiona nikirekodi nayo.